How's it going, YouTube? My name is Trey. Today I'm going to be showing you how to find the greatest common divisor, also known as the greatest common factor. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's get straight to the code. So first we're going to import an array class. Next we're going to create our greatest common divisor method, or greatest common factor method. It's public static int GCD int number 1 int number 2. Alright, now we need to create our array list. And our array list is going to keep track of all the factors, or all the numbers that can divide number 1 and number 2. Alright, so for our base case, we're going to check if number 1 and number 2 are the same. So if number 1 and number 2 are the same, we'll return number 1. Now we're going to check if number 1 is equal to 0. We'll return number 2. If number 2 is equal to 0, we'll return number 1. So now we need to create our else statement. Inside our else, we're going to have an int I, set that to 1. Then we're going to have a while loop that counts up to whatever the biggest number is between number 1 and number 2. So in our while, we're going to have I less than math dot max number 1 and number 2. And now we just need to check if the number that we're going through can divide number 1 and number 2. So we're just going to say if number 1 mod I is equal to 0 and number 2 mod I is equal to 0. That means I is a factor of number 1 and number 2. So our array list is going to add that to the list. So factors.add I. Then outside our if, we're going to increment I by 1. Outside of our while loop, we are going to return factors.get factors size minus 1, which gets the last number that was added to the list, which will be the greatest common factor. Let's go up to our main method. We're going to have a system out statement saying the greatest common divisor of, and for our example, we'll have 0 and 8. And we're going to have GCD 0 and 8. Now let's test our code. Okay. Greatest common divisor of 0, 8 is 8. That's the biggest number that divides both 0 and 8. Now let's try 12 and 8. Okay, it's 4. And for our third example, we'll try 14 and 8. So the biggest number that can divide both 14 and 8 is 2. If you have any questions, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. Alright, thank you for watching.